Recently we have been having a certain conversation, and mostly we have been discussing President William Ruto's association with the Indian community in the country and mostly Indian billionaires. And you all know that we have talked about his lawyer, the current chairman of Safaricom, that is lawyer Dr. Adil Kawanja. We have talked about billionaire, the Nairobi West Hospital owner, that is Bwana Jayesh Saini. Now, apart from that, there is another name that also recently caught my attention, a name that President William Ruto promoted and made him the new chancellor, the new vice chancellor of Egerton University for the next 5 years. And that is the name of Nerandra Raval, the billionaire who is the owner of Deic Group of companies. Now, what is the history of this man with President William Ruto? And what is it that President William Ruto sees in the Indian community that he doesn't see anywhere in this country? Remember, our Adani deals that are currently on the verge of destroying or tearing apart the economy of this nation all are linked to India. Bwana Adil Kawanja is an Indian, is a Kenyan lawyer with Indian roots. Bwana Jayesh Saini is a Kenyan doctor and a Kenyan business investor with Indian roots. Same thing to Bwana Nerandra Raval, the owner, the multi-billionaire who owns Deic Group of companies. Now, allow me to diverge deep into the relationship between this man and President William Ruto. Should I remind you that Nerandra Raval was the man that suggested President William Ruto should serve Kenya as its president for the next 25 years? Why? Why should a person like that suggest, not a person like that, why should a multi-billionaire, a person with interest in business and the economy of the Republic of Kenya suggest that a president should surpass his limit and continue ruling Kenya for the next 25 years? Now, here is where the juice lies. The links between President William Ruto and Indian billionaires in the country, we are not yet to exploit them. We are just beginning. Nerandra Raval. When President William Ruto was appointed as the President of the Republic of Kenya in 2022, the first step he took was to create a relationship with the countries in Asia, mostly in the Middle East, including Abu Dhabi, India, and those are countries that Ruto visit several times. Now, let's go back to, I think, June 2024, June 2023. That is when President William Ruto first made an appointment of this man in his government and promoted him to a certain level in his government. Remembering that when Uhuru Kenyatta was the president of this republic, yes, he is the one that made India, the Indian people, he made an Indian tribe in our republic. We love the Indians in our country. They have been pivotal in the growth of the economy of the Republic of Kenya. But, sometimes business has its ups and downs when it comes to everybody. And when it comes to our republic, Ruto's interest in the Indian community is not for the benefit of the people of the Republic of Kenya. It is for the benefit of he himself as President William Ruto, who wants to create a multi-billion empire for himself. Now, when Ruto was appointed president, he started creating this relationship. Now, in June last year, Ruto made the first appointment of this man. He appointed billionaire Nerandra Raval to oversee government press reforms. That is when an article was published in reference to Nerandra Raval links to President William Ruto for the first time in a nation, in a public gazette. Now, in a gazette notice dated June 23rd, 2023, the head of public service, Felix Koskei, said Raval would lead a presidential task force focused on modernizing and transforming the government press into an efficient and commercially viable entity. Raval serves as the chairman of Deic Group of companies, which is actively engaged in the diverse industries including manufacturing, construction, and mining. The objective, is said, is to enhance the overall capacity, efficiency, effectiveness, security, viability, and sustainability of the government press. At the same time, Nzomo Mbiduka had been appointed as the vice chairperson of the said task force. Hapo tunamalizana na the first story na the first appointment that Ruto made of Nerandra. Now let me take you back kiasi to a certain tweet that was made some time back. A tweet that was made linking the President of the Republic of Kenya, President William Ruto, to Nerandra Raval. And one guy by the name of Kiprono, a certain blogger in the country, went ahead to post and listen. It was on 30th of November 2023. That was just immediately 3 months or 4 after Ruto had appointed Nerandra Raval as the man to oversee the said president's press, kama jinsi ambavyo tumesema hapo kitambo. Now, Kiprono posted and said, Deic Group imports a Rolls Royce for President William Ruto, and the answers as to why lies in the fourth frame. Nerandra Raval has been everywhere in Ruto's projects, appointment, and so on. That was back in the year when? 2023. That is when we started getting the ideology that, you know what? Hey, this man and the president has seemed so close. The president is giving a lot of time and a lot of dedication to this guy and a lot of publicity. Tunaelewana? That is after, and the Rolls Royce, I shall post it there. It was a very good one, which was imported from London, Heathrow. It was imported from London, Heathrow. Yes, and it departed from London, Nedra, and it was destined for Nairobi, Kenya, under Deic Group, and it was under the name. It was bought for the purpose of President William Ruto. Tunaelewana? Now let's continue. Let's continue because we have a lot that this man has, which links him to President William Ruto. Now, going forward, President William Ruto in April, I think it was in April 8th, 2024, he made certain allegation which suggested his relationship with this man. Tunaelewana? President William Ruto made certain revelation which linked him to this billionaire. And I shall read the article that was published by the Star newspaper. President William Ruto lauded Deic Group owner Nerandra Raval for his significant investment in the country. Ruto praised Raval as a true patriot dedicated to the nation's progress. Huyu guru ni rafiki yangu, lakini anaamini kwenye taifa la Kenya. Sio watu wengi wako na uzalendo ya kutosha kuweka pesa zao katika investment ya mali kama hii. That is what Ruto said. And do you know where they were? President Ruto and Nava were launching a certain cement company in West Pokot. It was on April 8th, 2024. Now, tuende mbele. He was speaking during the commissioning of the 45 billion Semtech Sebit clinkerization plant in the West Pokot. The factory would produce an estimated 6,000 metric tons of clinker daily with the capacity of processing 2 million tons yearly. He, however, expressed regrets that since the licensing and groundbreaking of the project 13 years ago, nothing tangible had been achieved, something he attributed to lack of commitment from the previous administration. Opposition leader Raila Odinga officiated the groundbreaking ceremony in 2010. People had excuses, oh, West Pokot is insecure, oh, there is the import of clinker and many other excuses. Hmm? Highlighting the immense contribution of the investment, the head of state noted that the economic benefit of Deic Group are critical and substantial to the economy of the Republic of Kenya. He said local manufacturing of clinker and steel have saved the country foreign exchange to the tune of 500 million yearly, which is equal to 65 billion. Apart from the job opportunities, Ruto added that the group remits 2 billion monthly in the form of taxes, which translates to 24 billion annually. Apart from these, it pays 1 billion every month to Kenya Power in electricity bills, making it the leading, followed by telecommunication network Safaricom. Wacheni niwaambie, there is no way, and I tell you, knowing your president, there is no way that President William Ruto can praise somebody that much or can oversee projects of this guy without his benefit. Ruto benefits from Safaricom. He is a shareholder there. His company, he benefit directly from Safaricom. We have seen in the recent scandal of SHIF, Chief. We have seen that. Now, there is a way that Ruto benefit from the Deic Group. Now, this is where I'm going to crack it down. Muniruhusu, I crack it down for you because that is what I'm known to do. That is what I know best. Tunaelewana? Deic Group has different companies under its umbrella. Now listen, these are the companies under the Deic Group umbrella. Hizi ndizo kampuni ambazo zipo chini ya hii kampuni ya Deic umbrella. Hapa ndio uhondo unatokelezea. The first company is Deic Mills Limited, which operates multiple locations within multiple locations of Ruiru at the river and Mombasa, serving the market through supplying a wide range of steel products such as bar tubes, wires with diamond mark and whatever. The second one is Simba Cement or National Cement Company Limited. The third one is Mabati Mills Limited, all under the umbrella of Deic Group of companies. Number 4 is the Mavuno Fertilizer. Take notice of that. The Mavuno what? The Mavuno Fertilizer. Should I remind you that when President William Ruto took power as the President of the Republic of Kenya, there was an initiated move that we are going to subsidize the fertilizer in the country, and the fertilizer was subsidized and given to the people of the Republic of Kenya. I tell you today, to go and dig deep on those subsidized fertilizers that you are given, on those tungunias, if you won't find Mavuno fertilizer there with stamps of cabs and whatever to officiate that it is coming from the government of the Republic of Kenya, which means Ruto and DEVKI and Nerandra Raval had an agreement kitambo sana that, you know what, we are going to subsidize fertilizers. Your company under Mavuno Fertilizer will provide us with the fertilizer. Under this amount of money, we will tell the people of Kenya that we are importing subsidized fertilizers from outside the country. And then, if we are using about 10 to 50 or 100 billion on fertilizers to grow our plants and whatever, then out of that nini, mimi niko na yangu nakula hapo mzee. Tunaelewana? That is how it works. Tunaelewana? Mavuno Fertilizers is the first link that links Narendra Raval direct to the government of Kenya and the loot that has been going on with President William Ruto since he took over as the President of the Republic of Kenya. Now, allow me to take you to another company owned by the under the umbrella group of Deic Group of companies. The other one is called Northwood Aviation. Northwood Aviation Agencies Limited. The Northwood Agencies Limited and Africare Helicopter Support Services Limited are your full suite of helicopter charter hire and maintenance services provides their fleet currently consisting of different helicopters with highly trained personnel managing the operations along with tremendous experienced pilots. Nikuulize, when your president alikuwa ana transverse the country akicampaign, how many choppers was he using? Alikuwa anakwenda na chopa ngapi? Should I remind you, ni kampuni ngapi ziko na choppers hii nchi yetu ya Kenya? How many companies ziko na choppers za kuoffer to the and remember, once the president was asked about his fleet of choppers that he uses za kutransverse the country, akasema some are donated by generous friends. Then akiwa deputy president, the generous friends are the ones that are being rewarded now for their commitment to make Ruto the president of the Republic of Kenya. Under Northwood Aviation, Ruto has benefited directly from Deic Group of companies. The other one is Maisha Packaging Company Limited. They manufacture polythene papers. The other one is Semtech Limited. Semtech Sebic Clinkerization Plant is a significant investment by Deic Group. Hii ni moja kati ya zile ambazo zilikuwa zinalaunchiwa huko mali Ruto alikuwa anasema this guy is among those people that pay great taxes in the Republic of Kenya. Simo PLC is the last company under Deic Group of companies. With a legacy of over 40 years, Simo is Rwanda's only integrated cement producer, proudly shaping the nation's skyline with a robust annual production capacity of 600,000 tons. Yeah, hiyo iko Rwanda, hiyo iko Kenya. But there, tumepata kampuni ngapi? Kampuni mbili. The first one is Mavuno Fertilizer and the second one was Northwood Aviation. Tuko pamoja mpaka. Now let me fast forward the story to recently, ambapo the said billionaire, no, I won't, wacha ni warudisha nyuma kidogo. Acha tusiende ya current yenye imefanyika juzi on 4th of September. Wacha ni warudisha nyuma kidogo to back in February 2023 when Deic billionaires bid to control Kenyan's cement business. Listen, a publication was made by the Daily Nation, and I shall read it. An article was written and published by the Daily Nation, and the article said 5 cement makers have put up a spirited fight against a fresh plot by billionaire Nerandra Guru to control the lucrative clinker market. Mr. Raval, also known as Guru, through his company National Cement, is once again pushing for enhanced import duty on clinker, the main ingredient for the manufacture of cement, as the steel magnate eyes some 8.3 billion that factories without grinders pay to import the crucial raw material. The tycoon, whose Deic Group also has an iron grip on the steel sector, is understood to have been given an ear by the new administration of President William Ruto as it prepares its first budget for the upcoming fiscal year starting July, which was then 2023. Finance ministers from 7 member states of the East African Community (EAC) will soon agree on common external tariffs, CET, that will guide the trade between the regional bloc and countries outside the EAC. Most of the goods and services are traded duty free between East African countries, but a CET is levied on goods coming from nations outside the trade bloc, which is the EAC, with clinker attracting an import duty of 10%. The Athi River-based National Cement, which has the largest limestone deposit, the main material for clinker production, wants import duty on clinker raised to 25%. But just like in an earlier attempt, 5 cement manufacturers, Rice Cement, Bamburi Cement, Savannah Cement, Ndov Cement, and the Rift Court Limited fought back, arguing that these would create an unfair playing ground with only 2 players, National Cement and Mombasa Cement, dominating the industry. In this meeting, like in the earlier one in financial year 2020 to 2021, Mombasa Cement was non-committal on the proposed increase of duty, leaving National Cement a lone ranger in the hunt for the billions of shillings in imported clinker. Remember, the imported clinker is the said company that was opened in West Pokot, where now the Deic Group of companies are manufacturing clinker. Do you know how much money is saved by this company in the country after they started their own production? Yes, we agree that this is the best move for the Republic of Kenya, because a lot of companies import clinker from outside the country. Tunaelewana? But now they created a monopoly that they are the only producers of the said clinker in the country, which was officiated by President William Ruto. Kitambo, Uhuru Kenyatta alikuwa ameallow other companies to create an environment that is conducive for business to avoid monopoly. Because if he had allowed Deic Group of companies to control the clinkerization and production of clinker in the country, that means the monopoly has been created. So our watu wanaweza amua kurise nini ya cement anytime they want and anytime they feel like. But akaona ni vema wote wakuwe wakiimport, and that's why they stalled the company mpaka ikakuja kufunguliwa juzi na Ruto. But Ruto did not open the company free. Ruto has an agreement with this guy. The agreement is that Ruto benefit in billions and billions of shillings that are deposited to his companies and his shadow companies, so that Nerandra Raval continues to operate in the country and to operate his businesses in the Republic of Kenya. Ukichimba ndani sana utagundua kampuni nyingi sana zipo linked direct ambazo zinafanya biashara, or they are doing transaction between them and the said President William Ruto. Should I remind you also, back in 2023 on August, wakati the first finance bill ya President William Ruto ilikuwa imeleta shida, this man Guru Narendra Raval, he was one of the billionaires in the country that rooted for the said finance bill, na akaenda mpaka pale kwa National Assembly to support the said finance bill, saying that the finance bill is for the beneficial of the people of the Republic of Kenya. Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo? Unaelewa kile ambacho tunakiongelea? Do you understand the depth of this thing that you are speaking about? Should I remind you that Nerandra Raval was also called a con man by different people in the Republic of Kenya, including one man by the name of, tunamuitanga nani huyu mzee? Tunamuitanga Manyara. Ni Manyara or something. The guy that with a YouTube channel and he creates content speaking about politicians. And I shall quote this. Hii ilikuwa August 9th. I think it was in 2022. If I'm not wrong. April 2022. And he said, Nerandra Raval is a con man and not a guru, as he refers to himself in his book. where he lies that he has never taken a bribe. Yet his company DEVKI still was fined for price fixing. He asked two Huskies subsequent regimes to survive. Manyora once spoke about the billionaires. That was a post that was made by Cyprian Nyakundi back in them days. Tunaelewana? This post was made in reference jamaa akianza kusema it Ruto deserves to serve as the president of the Republic of Kenya for how many years? 25 years, so that he will leave Kenya at a developed stage. Hii ilikuwa ni jamaa anajaribu kudefend his own agendas and his own company. Si hizi hazikuwa eti ni because anapenda taifa la Kenya, that's why he wants Ruto to continue to being the president for 25 years. No, he only wanted that because he knows President William Ruto ni mtu ambaye ana serve his own interest as the billionaire he is. Tunaelewana? Now let's continue to the latest news and the latest story in regards to the appointment of this guy into as the being reappointed, I mean, as the Egerton University chancellor. Now, President William Ruto on 8th, was it on 8th? On 4th of September this year, on 21st of September this year, that's 4 days ago, he reappointed billionaire Nerandra Raval as Egerton's University's chancellor. A Gazette notice published on Friday last week stated that Raval will continue to be at the helm of the university for another 5 years. This is in line with the Universities Act of 2012, which grants the president powers to appoint a chancellor of a university. Imagine, ni rais amefikia hiyo point. Na nitamnukuu in the Gazette notice alisema, in exercise of the powers conferred by section 38 1A of the Universities Act 2012, I, William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, reappoints Nerandra Raval, Doctor, as Chancellor of the Egerton University for a period of 5 years, with effect from September 16, 2024. The notice read, in part, in 2019, former President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed Raval as the university's chancellor, replacing Professor Sam Oyo Wandiga. Known as a philanthropist, Raval is the founder of Deic Group of companies with deals. Born in 1962 in a small town in India, Raval embarked on his ministry as an assistant priest at Swaminarayan Temple before relocating to Kenya to continue serving as a temple teacher. He then took up a job in a small steel factory where he honored his skills of steel making. At a young age, Raval managed to set aside some savings to start a small steel processing and trading enterprises with his wife in Nairobi. What was once a small business, DEVKI, has grown now into the largest manufacturer of steel products in East and Central Africa. According to Forbes, his company generates revenue worth 64.3 billion, while his net worth is estimated at an average of Kenya shillings 51 billion. That is just an estimation, but the guy is rich. Yeah, that's what's happened regards to this story. Mimi naikamilishia hapa. Wewe maoni yako ni yapi? Aswa without the president right now, easy appointment. Nikuulize, ameingia huyo Adil Kawanja, ametolewa huko kwa Dentons, amepelekwa kufanywa CEO wa Safaricom. Now Nerandra sijui amefanywa nini, kafanywa nini mpaka sasa ndio huyo reappointment yake pale katika nini ya University ya Egerton for the second time. What is your take in regards to those stories? Because with the info that we have given you, you can all tell. For now, nakamilishia hapo na kukumbusha usibanduke kabla ya kusubscribe.